So I want to talk about Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but we got to do it episode by episode because content, content.
Banking card and marriage registration.
Something that can make you do.
We're married.
Yeah, I guess we're married.
You draw less attention as a couple. What is it that you two do?
We're software engineers.
All right, so we watched the Donald Glover, Maya Erskine show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is a reimagining of the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie film from the 2000s. Funny enough, the movie that destroyed their marriage. So, do you have any? Did you watch that show? Oh, sorry, the movie that destroyed Brad Pitt's marriage to Jennifer Anderson. Sorry. Do you have any relationship to that movie?
Yeah, I used to watch that movie all the time. Like I really like that movie.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. So you had Keith David and Angela Bassett, right? They were the bosses. Did we ever see them, or was it just their voices?
I don't I don't remember seeing Angela Bassett in there, so maybe it was just her voice.
Okay. I do you need me to rewind the tape? Yeah, I used to watch that all the time, Chad. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I said I used to watch this all the time.
Okay, so yeah, I've seen it a couple times. I liked it. I really like Adam Brody in the movie. He was somebody that he was a target that they had to capture, but he was actually a plant. And so like when it
Mhm,
was going down, he was like, "Give me a gun. Give me a gun." Because like he didn't want to get shot.
mhm.
I just thought that was funny. But anyway, so we got the new show. So episode one, first date. And that is when John and Jane meet each other and they go on a mission to intercept a package from a mark and deliver said package. What were your thoughts, Matt?
Um, I liked it. I liked the reimagining of it. To where like the movie was they were married, they didn't know what each other did. This one where they knew exactly what they're doing. They're working with they're working for the same company and they were put together for a reason.
Hmm.
So I like the beginning to where they're um you know, they're not in love or anything. They're very cautious of each other and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, they
you
don't know
learn
each other.
right, they have to grow with each other and stuff like that. Now the details of the episode. I really like the I won't say chase down, but when they have to intercept it, where they have to work together to figure
Oh,
out
all the
where
steps.
all the steps to get there, and Donald Glover goes off on sideways to he has an idea, but he's not telling her what the idea is. She's like, "Where are you at? Where are you at?" As they try to get through. Um, I was cautious of this being a TV show, but I do like the approach that they did about uh we're about to take time for these people to get to know each other and their relationship to grow basically.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Like you know, not a lot of first episodes of shows are fully formed.
Mhm,
So it's kind of hard to get a sense of like exactly what this show will be. Like, I mean, beyond the bare bones of it. And so,
mhm,
but I felt like it was a good first impression. Like you kind of got an idea of where both of their heads were, like because they had to do like this interview process before they got assigned to each other, and they would show you clips from it. And so you kind of saw like, huh, she's got some stuff like where she's like, yeah, the CIA did not want me. And then they were like, and then John was like, yeah, I have killed people. I can't remember exactly what he said. He made a joke out of killing people, which how many people he killed or something like that.
right.
Well, I meant specifically during the interview, he made a joke, which was like, okay, that's kind of funny. He's done some dirty work. So yeah, and then like when you find out like what they delivered and like the person that they delivered it to offered them drinks so that they would have potentially still been in the house
And
if
she said yes, and he was like, "No, we need to get out of here."
right. And also like if you know just looking at further along during the season that the opposite would happen like where Donald would be more friendly to people that he probably shouldn't be versus
Mhm.
her.
Right, right.
So that was interesting. Yeah, you just got a good sense of like what adventures could we have, right?
Mhm.
Then you got episode 2, Second Date. That's when John and Jane go on their next mission and they meet the new neighbor as well as they kind of also fail that mission that they go on to.
Right. Because I like the beginning when they get to the place and he was like, "Take my jacket. I'm about to go in through catering or go through
The kid, yeah, he's gonna be pretend to be a caterer,
yeah,
yeah.
go to the kitchen." And then she's like, "Why? No, it's easier this way." And he was like, "No, it's going to be like four black guys there, and they all know each other. This would be easier way." And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that that was going to be a regular thing of like their clashing styles, um, getting the job done because like like that sort of happened in the first episode when he's like I got an idea and he like ran up on that random dude to like kind of startle the person with the package.
Hmm.
So I thought that was going to play a lot more into the series. um just him being like okay I'm black and so this is what I'm gonna have to do, not so much.
Right. I thought it was also because like he makes it seem like you said when he was talking about killing and stuff that like he has like a lot more field experience than her, so he's always
Mm-hmm.
going to be the one that like I'm about to take the lead on this type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean as spoilers we find out they're both fuck ups
Yeah.
as we go along, but so I thought it was weird that when they got the billionaire by himself he made both of them degrade themselves.
Hmm.
When she came to him like hey I too have money.
Right.
We should find a poor. And then he had her doing it too. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah. And then he got down too. So yeah, for and then like they have to the point was the mission was they were supposed to get him to give him truth serum so and record it with no casualties.
Right.
And honestly, when they both stuck him, I said, "Oh shit," because they specifically said only one dose.
But also, like, I was startled because I was like, when did John have the serum too? I thought
Right.
she just had it.
Right. They never showed him having it till that point.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just like, nah, man. When you gave her that look, I thought you was giving her the look
Giving her the
saying,
look to do it. Yeah.
right, because so sir, stop messing up, my boy.
And then also thing is when he dies and they were like, "Yeah, so we're gonna who do we call to clean this up?" And they were like, "We gotta do it." I was like, "They gotta do it.
Yeah, I'm like,
You work for a whole company. Why can't
right.
you call somebody to do this?"
I feel like that's outside of your job parameters, honestly.
Right.
Um. Also, as we go through this, like, if you have an episode that's your favorite, mention it. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and then we get to episode 3, First Vacation. So at this point, John and Jane are intimate, and they're literally in the honeymoon phase of their relationship. And so they go on a mission where they have to monitor a married couple and bug both of their phones separately.
As I'm thinking about this, I think this might be my favorite. As I'm thinking about this,
We're getting
um,
we're getting close to mine. So I do want to say I really like how when John realizes that his target is getting kidnapped and he goes against the mission parameters and goes to save her. I just really like how like it's just silent and like you see him walking and he just shoots some dude in the back and I'm like, okay.
right.
What's happening right now?
That's what I thought. So I'm like, I know they're not spies to where you're not supposed to know that they're there, but I'm like, you running up into you letting the billionaire wife see your face and everything, and
Right.
even though you had this whole conversation with her beforehand. So I was just like, you couldn't be a little bit more discreet or on this and stuff, but no, he was just out there.
Yeah. And then it's like I like and I don't like how they aren't really given as an audience member and also them themselves, they you don't have the full context of what they're doing. And so
Right.
like their mission was just to bug the phones and record the conversation and nothing else. And so if they knew this phone call was happening at this specific time and that phone call was actually a ransom call, then they knew that she was going to get kidnapped. And my thing is like, did she orchestrate her own kidnapping?
I thought of that too.
Right.
I partially thought that's true.
So I'm like, there's a lot of like, this is when it just feels like, even in episode 2 with the truth serum, it was like, to what end? Like, were they trying to blackmail him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also we forgot about I forgot to mention that once whenever they do a mission, they report back to Hi
Hi,
Hi,
hi. Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh yeah, mission accomplished. One casualty. Sorry." And then he was like, "Mission not accomplished.
Right.
Uh you get two more times or whatever like that." So I
Two
was
more
like,
fails.
yeah, two more fails. So then that added that makes each show better because now you know they got to do it exactly right or something bad's going to happen if they fail two more times. And also
Mhm.
puts the pressure on them too that they know that they got to get it right.
Right.
But back to episode 2, um I really like the part where they meet as they're waiting uh as they're after they're casing the couple, they meet another couple and they want to hang out and stuff. And John's being real nice, and Jay's like, "No, we gotta go." And then later on, when they see him again, and Jane says something to the effect of like,
I
"Get the
have a
fuck out the
gun.
way! I want to shoot. I will
Yeah.
shoot you or something."
Yeah, I have a gun in my pocket or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. She was like, "No nonsense. All right, we got to get going. Get the fuck out my face."
I mean, I was kind of with her because like if John didn't start like, talking to that couple, like John they almost missed leaving the restaurant to follow the people because John was talking to that couple.
Right.
So like it's a little also this is when we find out he's talking to his mom.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And like I hear you, dude. Like, you're the only man in her life. You need to watch out for her. But also, you signed up for a job that says you cannot talk to your family.
hmm And at
So
least be a little more discreet. Where he was like, he talks to her like
every day.
every day. I mean, I get that that's what you did before, but at least be more discreet about this to where, like, all right, mama, I can only do this once a week now, or something like that. Because it made it seem like, she's dependent on him for all of this stuff. So, like, maybe like she's sick, she's in a wheelchair, or has a disability or something. But then later on, when you see her and like she seems perfectly fine to where it's like, maybe emotionally she might need to talk to him every day, but it's not like she's depending on him for her like to live.
Right. Yeah, I didn't care for that. And it's like I hear you, dude, but like and Jane's 100% right. And then he's telling her his mom about Jane. And it's like, dude, like she didn't ask for that.
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a secret thing, but it's not a secret to
right.
where it should be. And also, like, if you're gonna tell somebody something, it's like Jane is a person you need to tell, so she can help you with these lies
Mm-hmm.
and these cover ups and things like that.
That's literally your partner.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
But also it's like, what mom, if you talk to your mom every day, who's like, what mom's like, oh, you got married and she's okay with not meeting her?
Right.
Like, what are
Right.
we doing here? Make it make sense, John. All right.
Oh, also one more part. I think it was the last episode, first episode, is when they were out and you see John's ex.
No, that's the next episode.
Oh, okay. All right then. And
Okay,
back
okay.
to this one then. That when he kills a bad guy, Jane comes and then she puts him in a hot tub because he's freezing, and then he was like,
I
I
can't feel my
can't
dick.
feel I can't feel my dick, and
Like
then she's trying to
the moment he said that, I'm like, he's messing with you.
right, and then when he was like, she's like, I still can't feel it. Maybe you need to put it in your mouth. I legit laughed at that.
That's funny. All right, next episode, double date. So John and Jane meet another John and Jane. So yeah, so this is the one that opens up with them like at the market, and he runs into an ex, and I thought she was gonna call him by his real name,
Mhm.
but she didn't, and I'm like, that's weird. Like I would acknowledge somebody by their real name. Like I mean, I get it. Sometimes you forget people's names, but like, it's not like you worked with this person and you're like, hey, dude, like you dated this person.
Right, right. But when Jane was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was proud of you. I didn't know you was like that." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, that she only had one hand." And then I was like, "Wait, she only had one hand?" So then I rewounded it back to see, and it's hard to tell because it was always covered up. So I was like, "This, maybe she only did have one hand." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I finished watching the part, and then she said she was just fucking with him. I was like, "Oh,
Right.
okay."
That's those green eyes coming out.
Yeah.
But then I thought it was like interesting. Like his drink got messed up at the restaurant, at the coffee shop, and like another John Smith's like, "Oh no, this is my drink. Mix up." And he's like, he like he looks at dude's credit card, and I guess that specific credit card goes with their agency. But it took me a second before I understood like what was happening, because I thought when our Jane came up and they were talking, I thought they were talking about marriage as a whole.
I thought so too. It didn't register till later on because I didn't put it together. I was like, oh, we got the same first last name. Let's talk about this. And then they
Hmm.
started doing it. Yeah, it didn't click for me till later on too.
Yeah. But yeah, so fun facts about these actors. So the woman is Parker Posey. She's been in a lot of independent movies. She was in Superman Returns. But the guy, he played Pablo Escobar on Narcos.
Mm, okay.
But I kind of liked their energy a little bit. It was different. It was kind of fun. Like so this episode is the first one where I really like longed for um like being in a committed relationship with somebody where you do like the double date shit, and like afterwards you'd have like the decompress in bed, and like you kind of talk a little shit. Like I
Mhm.
miss talking shit about other couples in bed. Like you know me in real life. I'm a mean person. And I
Mhm.
just miss being just fucking mean.
Did you like or let me go. I thought of Rick and Morty when um they get to the island
Wait,
and
let's
he
hold up a second. So basically, they have a nice fun dinner, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, we're on a mission." They're like, "Aren't y'all like drunk? Like, what's happening here? Like, come with us. Let's keep the party going.
and that's another thing to where like what are the rules to being in this agency to where like
Do
you can
your
just
job. That's all.
I guess yeah,
Just
you can
complete
do
the
whatever the fuck
mission.
you want to. All right. Okay. I
complete
guess
com- as long as you complete the mission, they don't care.
so it's not okay, yeah. Um
Especially with what they do.
mhm.
I feel like you have a lot of different ways you can achieve that goal.
That's true. That's true. But if you were our John and Jane, would you have went with them?
Fuck no. Like, cause me personally, I don't like being out late. I fucking hate that shit. And like, it seemed like I don't remember if it was daytime when they got there, but it was at least like 7 or 8 when they got there, and they did like the whole house tour, and they ate, and they just talked around the in the living room and stuff for like some time, and I'm just like, I'm tired looking at this.
Yeah, I wouldn't have went, like you said. And plus they were drunk too. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it.
But I'm sorry. What happened on the island?
Well, yeah, well, it turns out that they weren't going to do a joint mission. They basically forced the mission onto them as they got in a helicopter. Um, and they get to the island, and it wasn't the Sean and Jane that they knew. And didn't he say, I love you, as when they grabbed the hatchet?
Yeah, he's like, if anything happens, I love you. And she's like, I love you too. And then
And then
and then I went to stabbing.
right, and then they just showed them on the helicopter, all bloody with like
Yeah.
different T-shirts on, and then like that's the part I thought about Rick and Morty is when like quit 25 minutes and we will be back, and then they're just like covered in blood, and they're just like,
I thought of Pulp Fiction, like when they shoot dude and they're like splatter and then they're like in those like stupid outfits when they go to the
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah,
Also kind of important. So our Jane shows established Jane their panic room, which will come back later.
Mhm. Yes,
All right, episode also, so I really like episode 4 because this is like literally the peak of their relationship.
hmm
Where like we're good. They're like they've got a good vibe and like it's all down here from here, baby.
yes, yes, it is.
Episode 5, do you want kids? So simple mission. Where are they? Spain? Where the fuck are they?
Something, um, something like that.
Says Lake Como. What does that mean? Who are you?
That's
Where are you? Lake Como is in Italy.
okay.
So they're on a mission to pick up Ron Perlman, who is a bad guy, but they don't know specifically what he has done to make him such a bad guy. And the mission is basically extract him and drop him off. And it is nothing but John Wick the entire episode.
Yes.
So my thing is like John's demeanor is kind of cold to Ron Perlman the whole episode.
hmm
And I would understand if he knew who he was and what he has done for him to be so mean. But like it just seemed a little out of character for him to be so, you know, abrupt with him.
Right. Because especially since all the other people he wasn't. So maybe that's
Right.
the part man they cut out where giving details of what he's done.
Right. Also, I mean, we are at the, over the halfway point, and like they've done a lot of missions together and like they're lovey-dovey, but like I feel like the cracks were already probably forming before this episode. And so like the shift in his attitude may be as a result of their relationship, perhaps.
I agree.
So this is the one where he superly says while they're trying to be intimate, I'm gonna put a baby in you. And I'm like, does anybody want to hear that? Like seriously, does any women of the show, like you don't have to write in, fucking message me or Matt, both of us, do you want to hear during intimacy, I want to put a baby in you? This will be a clip. This is gonna be a clip. I genuinely want to know, do women want to hear that? Because I don't think they do.
No, no. It's like, why would you say
Right.
that?
That's so.
At that time, why would
Right.
you say that? You
Do
you messing up the mood.
do you not want to have sex, sir? What are you doing?
Right.
So the episode ends with an argument, and I sent this in a group chat with you and some other people where he's like, I would be fine basically taking a demotion from the level of work that we do to be a delivery man in their agency. So all you do is just deliver packages to other operatives that are doing higher risk stuff. And
Mhm.
she's like, I don't want to go down, I want to keep going up with you. And let me tell you from personal experience, I have had that argument in my life because I don't know, it's like at least for me, speaking for Chad, like before a kid, I was all about like climbing that ladder, ambition was strong. But it's like even though I didn't birth my child, like something changed in me once she was born, and I don't give a shit about work as much anymore. And I lightly alluded to it on the Samantha's episode, but she is grinding harder than she's ever grinded in her fucking life. And I mean, if you Google her actual like her whole name, like you'll see some stuff, like some articles and stuff. So it's like she's doing big things out in the community, but like I personally don't have that drive in me. That has shifted to being a parent, even though I mentioned earlier this episode, I fucking hate being a parent.
I get that. Um, I think it's mine has been the opposite. I think once I got kids, I wanted to go harder to make more money, to have a better, to provide my son with a better life.
See, then that's what she said to me, and like I get that, but like I don't know, like maybe the wires are flipped, and I am more maternal, perhaps.
Right. That could be true. Because I mean, also on the other side is if I'm working all the time to make this
Hmm.
money, then I'm not spending time with them and stuff. So it's
Right,
like you got to be able to balance both sides of that.
right. So you're being a Disney parent, not a Disney adult, a Disney parent. Like in a Disney movie, the parent's always working. You know, yeah.
Hmm. Well, I don't do overtime though.
And
So
well, you can't do overtime, Matt.
right.
Episode 6. This is everyone's
Oh
favorite
wait, one more
episode.
thing. One more
Okay.
thing. About that episode, we forgot that he secretly bought her a house.
Oh, it's a few things that happened sideways. So yes, I wanted to know if he used their money or his money to buy that
Money,
house, first of
right?
all. And
And go
secondly,
ahead.
Hi was giving Jane alternative objectives.
Right. So I was just I know you see on like Christmas time car commercials. Hey, for Christmas, I bought you this $60,000
Right.
car, and without you knowing. But it's kind of like this too. It's like I assume that they're making great money, but still, it's like, why would you buy her a house without telling her?
Right.
Still, fact
Yeah.
is like you don't even really know if she likes it there.
Right. He's just
He
like, this
likes
is
it there,
beautiful.
right?
So my question is also like she's like you said you want to buy a house here every fucking place, every country we've gone to. Do they own multiple homes?
Maybe, maybe he just bought every single one, and then this is the first time they actually needed to go there.
See, this is like this is when you can tell people didn't grow up with money.
Mhm.
Like doing dumb shit like that.
Right, just yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she bad guys come, and then she ends up blowing
Blowing
up the
that shit
house.
up.
Right,
Why was there dynamite in the house? What the fuck did you use a dynamite for?
right, yeah.
Episode 6. Couples therapy. Parentheses. Naked and afraid. I don't know why that's there. I mean, I guess naked as in you're bearing your soul to the therapist, perhaps.
Oh, this is therapist episode.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
couples
okay,
therapy.
yeah.
Yeah, so they go to couples therapy because like
Oh,
their
this is where the clip I showed you.
yeah, so their relationship's kind of it's starting to like turn downward. And yeah, like there's a lot of really good stuff. Like there's a really fun, but oh wait, did we have oh no, I didn't talk to you about this. Like talk to you about this. About like the conversation John had with those other black men, where I'm like, that is very real. That is a real conversation. I know that
Yes,
conversation has happened, but
yes,
also that is racist as fuck.
yes, 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 yes. 100%.
So like for him to not understand why she's upset at that conversation is ridiculous.
Right. Two things could be true at the same time.
But also she did him dirty. Like he was doing quite well, like completing that mission, and she's like, "I'm hungry. I'm going to kill everyone in this room." But
Right.
then she didn't kill everyone in that room, and he's like, "I almost got shot in the face. What are you doing?"
Right. And this kind of gave me the starting of the like little influences of the movie, stuff like this, where
Okay.
like I know we get the full blown thing later on, but like
Mhm.
little bits and pieces of stuff like this, yeah.
Yeah, actually, maybe we need to actually revisit that movie. Because like I don't remember a lot of it.
Because yeah, so they both find they're both targets, and
No. I meant like the little things, like
oh,
you
little
said,
details. Oh,
because like
okay.
you were like this, that reminded you of like stuff from the movie, and it did not for me. But
Or
that's
because
because it's been a while since
well,
I've seen it.
well, I mean, not like specifically, but at one point when he's trying to find her, and she now either she shoots his car or she runs him over with a car or
That's
something
the
like that.
last episode.
No, I'm talking about the movie now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But yeah, we'll revisit it.
So yeah, so it just shows like a few different missions that they go on. Like I thought it was funny that she had a fucking catchphrase before she killed that dude on the roof.
Oh yeah, yeah. What did she say?
Now you die or something. Or die,
Yeah,
motherfucker, or something like
yeah.
that. And I'm like, you know what? She said it's for you. She said it for both. No, she pushed him and then said it. So that was 100% for John.
Yeah. And I like this episode because it wasn't just them talking; it was them talking and then showing the actual mission, or
Mhm.
showing them what happened. And also, I liked it how they couldn't say that they were out there killing, so they said they were tech
Coding or something like that.
coding, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, you." I just like the way that they maneuvered around it to still
Yeah.
get their feelings and point across.
And this is another one where it reminded me of my own life. Like I've gone to couples therapy. It has not gone well because I'm divorced. So you know.
Right, it did not work.
Mm, mm, mm. But no, it was a really good episode. Great seeing Sarah Paulson. Funny ending. I thought that the twist at the end, quote unquote twist, was that she was a mark and like they were doing this, wanted to get like actual therapy, but then like at the end of it, they were gonna kill her.
Mhm.
I thought that's where we were going. Hmm?
Oh, I was trying to think what happened. Yeah, they set it on fire. I didn't think about what
Yeah,
happened.
but my thing is like neither one of you dumbasses read the contract that she gave y'all.
Right.
Neither one of y'all. Yeah, I just signed and
Hey,
shit.
hey, man, they really need that therapy. So we was like, we got to get in.
All right. Episode 7, Infidelity. So we are basically the it's bad in the relationship. And I'm gonna say John made me so fucking mad in this episode where Jane confronts a woman that admits
Oh,
to seeing John regularly. And Jane ask the woman, does she know what John does? And she said yes. And then she follows up, do you know what he actually does? And she said yes. And the moment, like, this is also Michaela Cole. And the moment she confirms that she's aware John is a spy, I paused the show, and said an expletive to the screen because I was so mad. I was like, dude, that's Spycraft 101. Do not fucking tell anyone you're a spy.
right. And I can get like, imagine Jane. This is the only person she can talk to about any of this shit. And
Hmm.
you're out there telling your mother, telling this random woman, doing all this stuff, venting about her, stuff like that, to where everything she does, she has to keep to herself because she's basically following the fucking rules.
Right. And it's not like these are like arbitrary rules, like rules for the sake of rules. These are rules so you don't get your fucking face blown off.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so basically John had a mission where he had to kill an operative from a rival agency. And as Shane put it, this is a simple mission, 3 days tops, because he just needs to get close enough to where she trusts him and he can kill her. I'm assuming he had to kill her in like a specific way. Like don't just walk up to her and like shoot her in the street. Like it
Right. Because
probably
that's
had to yeah, it probably
wine
had
and
to
dining.
yeah, it probably had to look like maybe a suicide or something, or something like that. And like he turned like a simple mission into like over a month, and he's been like watching movies with this woman and like just chilling. And it's like this is someone that is works for another agency that has the capacity to also kill you because she's a, she does what you do.
Right.
So it's just like, man, what are you doing?
And especially not even telling, like you said, not even telling Jane. Because what if one day he don't come home because she kills him? Jane has no idea.
Right.
My thing is just you. My always with movies in life is communication. You need to let
Well,
them.
I mean, but they're in the like you've never been on this side of like a marriage deteriorating though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
cause like this is different than like oh my girlfriend or whatever. Like this is like it's even worse for them because it's like if they break up they die. But it's like the laws involved and it's just like yeah, you're just kind of like you're in a I don't give a fuck mode, which I get, but also with the other parameters of like this is literally your life. I just don't. I.
I guess, and I'm thinking about it now. I guess because him and Jane ain't vibing, and I can't meet random woman on the street and be like, yeah, man, this killing and all this other stuff. So what better person to I can vent to is somebody who's in this lifestyle too.
I get that, but like I would seek out established Jane or established John to talk to, not someone from a rival agency, because it's like I don't know, like this was a really fun show, and like there has been like situation like 10 situations, but I don't really think they really hyped up how fucking paranoid you are as a spy.
Yeah.
Like where it's like I round this back out to like we really do need to see that movie Munich because it really emphasizes like how you cannot trust anyone at all. Like
Hmm.
nothing. Like it's sad by the end because it's like they do all this cool spy shit, but then it's just like your mental is fucked, you know, because it's comparative. Like, yeah, you're a military guy. Like, it's just paranoia, and so
Right.
like, how can you trust somebody that you're literally supposed to kill?
True. And that's just a roundabout way. That's why they probably teamed them up as a couple. So you have somebody else that can watch your back.
Right. And so, yeah, but I get like they showed some snippets of it in the last episode, like one of their arguments, when he was frustrated with the way that she is controlling during sex. And so like eh, and like the way that she accepts communication and doesn't and kind of shuts down, I can see how that can be frustrating.
Hmm.
So I don't know, because it's like if somebody like forms like a shield around them, a barrier, so much you can do to get in.
Right. Especially and if the other person is the opposite of that, then is opposite of that, and that's something you want. You see why he trusts and spends so much time with her.
Hmm. But also, we learned that Hi Hi is doing a lot because Hi Hi told Jane that he's fucking up the mission, and so she went over there and once more we've established that both of these people are fuck ups.
Yeah.
And instead of just shooting her in the face when John came a knocking, she let it play out. And John came a knocking because Hi Hi told him that Jane was there. So like, what are you
Hmm.
doing, Hi Hi? What is Hi Hi doing?
Being messy.
But so in couples therapy we learned that they got their fail number 2, and by the end of this one they get their third fail because Nicola Cole gets away. And during the double date episode, established John laughs at our John and Jane because they say that they want to just get enough money to like live their life and then walk away. And he's like, that's not how this works.
Mhm.
So episode 7 ends with John saying, I'm going to move out. I'm done. And I'm like, "You- what? That's not
That's
that's
how
that's
this
not
works.
that's not a thing, dude. So I feel like maybe if he would have asked for a reassignment, aka a new wife, maybe they wouldn't have killed either one of them. Maybe,
Maybe because I mean, he did ask her, does she want to nuke John?
but
And
we
she
don't know
said
what
yes.
that meant though.
Well, what do you think it meant?
I genuinely think that meant that she would have had to kill him. Just like when established John said he had to get a new Jane, I think either she died on a mission or he had to kill her.
I took it as she died on a mission, but now you say that, yeah, he might have had to kill her because we can't just let this person go.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe I had to kill her. Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe after the two fails, he would have been like, "This isn't working." Like, much love to this woman, but I need a new wife. Maybe they
Mm,
would have gave them a proper reassignment. Maybe.
right, right. But after that third one, not all bets are off.
Yeah. Final episode of the season and possibly series, A Breakup. And in this one, someone kills Jane's cat and shoots at her. Someone puts a bomb in John's home, and as a result, they think the other did it, and they try to kill each other. Movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith style, until John injects both of them with truth serum, and they have a real heart to heart. And we learn that a stylish Jack and Jane are finalizers and they kill other John and James. They kill other Smiths.
Yes.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Um, I liked it because now you're getting closer to what the movie was and the different scenes of them out in public trying to kill each other versus, and then once they get home trying to kill each other with all the different weapons hid around the house. And then when they have that heart to heart and everything, I liked it.
Hmm.
What was your thoughts?
I also really like that part too because I'm like I I don't hate these two characters together. And maybe it's a little biased because I like Donald Glover and I've seen her in some stuff too. So it's like I like these two actors and therefore I want this relationship to work, even though like if you strip away the charisma of Donald Glover, like if you strip away if you have two different actors playing these roles, I probably don't want these two people together, if that makes
I see what you're
sense.
saying. Yeah, yeah.
So I want them to get back together. I want them to like, figure out a way to like make it work and like let's do some more missions. Let's have some more fun spy times. But then, I mean honestly, they deserve to die. They were out in the community fucking up.
Do you think they died?
Yes. I think so. It ends with three gunshots. I think that the first gunshot was our Jane missing. The second gunshot was established Jane shooting her, and then her going into the room to finish Donald. I think that is what happened.
I feel one of them died.
Okay. I mean, Donald was already gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I so here's the thing. I was really taken aback when we got that ending. But then as I sat with it, I was like, you know what? I'm fine with this because if they do a season two, it doesn't have to be about them.
Right. It could be new Janes and Johns. And maybe that could be a thing to where each season is just different couple with different problems and stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I would like to see what a second season could be with a different creative team, different stars. I don't want to play the game of casting it, but like I would like to see what that could look like.
I agree. I agree because you already have the basis of this down. Now you just got to fill in the blanks now of how you want this to go and stuff like that.
Hmm. I would be down. I would be down. I would also love a cameo by Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be totally down for that. So overall thoughts on the show, Matt?
I really enjoyed it. It was unexpected. But when it first announced, I was like, who asked for this? But overall, I really enjoyed it. And I would recommend for people to watch this.
Same. I hope I when they announced it, I was like, fuck yeah, because like I fucks with Donald Glover. So like whatever he does, I support it.
Mhm.
So I was happy to hear about it. And did we have that conversation about, yeah, we did, how originally Fleabag was going to be Jane, but they had some
Yeah.
creative differences. And
Yeah.
honestly, I like to see a season with her and her team take over.
Mm. Yeah. I'm down for this. This was good.
Um, do you think that this show would have been better if they would have done week to week?
Probably.
Why?
Well, because then you get the week to week talk of the show and stuff. Mm,
I mean, because like I feel like we're already past the point of people actually talking about this show.
yeah. Yeah. Because people binged it or didn't watch it at all. Or so that's the benefit of releasing stuff week to week to where excuse me.
Bless
Um,
you.
thank you. Yeah, the social media engagements and stuff like that for when stuff is released week to week, and you can talk about, I want this to happen, or what do you think is going to happen next, and stuff like that.
Analyze an episode to death, and did you notice that in this episode, blah 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 blah, and maybe and then you could also like do theory time about like what is the company that they work for, and it's just like when you dump it all, like the conversation is different.
Right, because you're talking about an overall type of thing versus specifically to the episode.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, the way that this show this ends, you don't really expect a season two. So like if Amazon's like we're not doing a season two, I'm like okay. But
Hmm.
like what was that show that you review? Catastrophe? Calamity?
Oblivion,
Obliterated, right?
obliterated, yeah, obliterated.
Where I didn't watch it, but like does it set itself up for a season two?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, it does. Yeah, because there's still a team, and you expect that okay, they'll be on new adventures later on.
Right. That came out on Netflix. They dumped it all out. I told a few people to watch it. Like
Hmm.
I was like, hey, my friend Matt, he watched it. He really liked it. You should check it out. And they did watch it.
Hmm.
But that wasn't enough. And like it really could have benefited from the week to week because like I've heard nothing but positive things about it. And it could have built an audience over weeks.
I agree, and it makes it easier. It's an easier watch because it's hard to watch, especially trying to put content out. It's easier to do a content one episode versus 8 episodes and talking points and things like that. That's just me complaining about doing bonus
Oh yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, I commend you on that because like I hate reviewing TV shows.
Right.
Like we're
And
doing it now, but we're doing it episode by
so by
episode.
episode, right? Because when I did Blue Eye Samurai, like I had to do a lot of research to remember each episode, and then the same thing for Obliterated. It'll be easier just to be like, oh, here's week episode one, and then you can get more into specific details and things like that.
Right.